Alright, today we are looking at isosceles triangles and equilateral triangles and some properties that we can do with them. First, the isosceles triangle theorem just states that if we have two sides congruent, we have isosceles triangles. We look at the angles directly across from them, and we have then those angles are congruent. So angle A and angle B in this picture must be congruent. Sometimes we will call these the base angles of the isosceles triangle, so you might hear us say that the base angles are congruent. A and B would be those base angles. So the way we're going to do these, just with a bunch of examples here, start with the red triangle. Well, again, if we have that 71 is this one angle, we have an isosceles triangle, so we look directly across. So 71 and angle C must be the same. That means angle C is 71 degrees automatically. Take the last angle, well, they all add up to 180, so 180 minus 71 again will give me a left of 38 degrees for that one. In the blue triangle, we don't have a base angle, we have a vertex angle. Well, that means that whatever is left over after my 180, taken away from this vertex angle, which is 112, well, since A and C must be congruent, that means that 112 needs to be split evenly. So I'll just divide it by 2, and that means that I will end up getting, for this one, that we have 56 degrees for each of those two angles. In number 3, the green triangle, well, this one's a little bit trickier because now we're going to have quadratics, but they're still base angles, so we do the same thing. X squared equals x plus 6. I need to bring all terms onto the same side, so I'm going to subtract the x plus 6. X squared minus x minus 6 equals 0. I need to factor. I'll get x minus 3 and x plus 2 equals 0. So that means x equals 3 or x equals negative 2. So we have two possibilities. We'll have two different triangles here. If we go with the positive 3, we're going to look. 3 squared is 9. And same over here, those should be the same. So 9 is the possible answer. When I do that, what's left over here is 162 degrees. So 9, 162, and 9. Now, if we use the other one, negative 2, well, negative 2 squared is 4. Negative 2 plus 6 is also 4, so that's good. And then what's left in this one is 172. So we have two options here, and notice that for these, they both, in this case, end up being obtuse triangles. If we look back at these ones, these are both acute. Well, the only one there, the blue one's acute, and the red also is acute. Then the last one, this pink one here, we now have the base angles being congruent. We can look the other way and say that the sides must then be congruent. So I'll just set up 12x minus 10 equals 10x plus 75. When I solve this, I'll subtract 10x, and from both sides, 2x minus 10 equals 75. I'll now add 10 to both sides, so 2x equals 85, which means x equals 42.5. I want to know in the end what the side is, so I'll just multiply in, plug this in. For either value, it doesn't matter which, but you should check and make sure, but you should get that for each of them, the value is 500. So that's the isosceles triangles. We also have equilateral triangles, which are even easier. If it is equilateral, it must be equiangular as well, which means all three angles would be 60. And if it's already equiangular, then we can say it's equilateral, just as easily. So when we do these problems, if one angle is 2x plus 32, well, 2x plus 32 must equal 60, because it's the one angle of an equilateral triangle. So 2x equals 28, which means x equals 14 here. And what's nice, I don't even have to try to plug back in for an angle because, well, I know it should be 60. But it'd be good to go and double check it, and yes, you get 60 degrees. In this one, same thing. 3x plus 15 equals 60. That means that 3x equals 45, or x equals 15. Now, in the last ones, when you have equal angles, we're going to have equal sides as well. So I set up the same way. 4x minus 8 equals 2x plus 1, and solve. So I'll subtract 2x, and I'm going to add 8 to both sides. I'll be left with 2x over here, 9 over here. X equals 4.5. Now, when you're finding a side, you can have as many different side lengths as you want. It doesn't matter, but they must be equal to each other when you plug them in. So when I plug it in here, I should get that the side length of OP is equal to 2.5, or 2 times 4.5 is 9, plus 1 is 10. Same when I do NP. 4.5 times 4 should be 18, minus 8 should give me 10. So the side lengths can be anything, but when you do the angles, they have to be 60.